Yo, what's up, everybody? How's it going? We're trying to figure out some more of this multi-streaming stuff. I tried to add Kick in the mix today, and I can't quite tell if it's working. I think it is, but it took a little bit of effort to get everything set up correctly. What's up, Androge and Tiago? How's it going? How are y'all today? Well, that is interesting. So that means it's swapped the bitrate for the wrong thing. Output settings, that's fine. So that's right, and that's right. So then here, let me see, settings, output, that looks right. Here, give me 1 second, let me do something. Let's see if that's any better. To be more. Connect to go live, should be connecting. Let's make sure stream health, warning, fine. Yo, what's up? How's it going? How are y'all? What's up, Cryptex? Let me make sure this actually goes away. It does look like it did. Is there a way where I could just see what my bitrate is right now? What's up, Paul? How's it going? 15. Yeah, about 13.5. The 13.5 is what it's supposed to be. How's it look? Does stream look like it's supposed to? Does it look good? We're working on adding in. On YouTube looks good, good. We're adding in Twitch and Kick as secondary outputs to YouTube. We should have everything set up for that already. But 15.5 might be high for Twitch though. So I used to do a lot more than that, and I'm also streaming at 1440 on Twitch. Looks good both on Twitch and YouTube. Good. Okay, well that's what we were going for. That's what we were hoping for. So, as the title suggests, not clickbait, what I want to do in this video is go through. It's going, I need to get away from Dune Awakening back to this mod pack. I feel that. I got yelled at by Twitch for being at 8K. That's funny. Yeah, I have both my Twitch and Kick at 6K. And both those seem to work pretty well. But what we're going to do today is I'm going to walk through everything that I've done in this world so far. Just so you guys can see it. Although it looks like I may need to turn off shaders. Because that is... something is not running well. Does it not like me streaming and playing? No, we're back. We're back to normal-ish. We'll have to see. But I've done a ton in the To the Sky world. No, Mob Farm's not on. It's not. I just want to see... yeah, full screen's fine. VSync is not on. Max frame rate, whatever. Turn that down a little bit. Turn that down a little bit. Play, done. Done. Back to game. 117 is fine. Okay, we've done a ton in the To the Skies world. I want to run through really quickly what we've done so you guys can just get like an overview. And then I want to show you guys what we're doing to try to make the 9x star block, because we are going to try to do that in this world. And I'm very excited about it. Dude, so I tried to add in Kick today, and I already have 2 random people trying to sell me botted viewers on there. That is wild how fastly that quickly that happened. Okay, there's 1 banned. There's 2 banned. All right. The PT told me this was a good idea, but I'm not so sure I agree yet. This was the one issue I stopped on TikTok. It was stealing too much resources from YouTube and Twitch. I'm excited. Heck yeah. Yeah, I'm very excited for the 9x block. think he's so bad at it. Yeah, for real. I just think it's a gigantic ad platform, but we'll see. We'll see if it adds anything to what we're doing here from a streaming perspective. And if it does not, then I will likely do what Cryptex said and just get rid of it because it's pointless. We'll see. Anyways, back to the world. What we have here, I think I showed y'all this last time, but I didn't show y'all the giant draconic battery that I put up here at the top. I'm actually really, really proud of how this whole build turned out. I absolutely love it. And in addition to that, what we have is 2 of these flux points that are pulling out 2.1 billion FE a tick, 2 of them per large pylon to put into here. And we still don't even have 0.1% yet. So that's pretty cool. What's up, Tortson? I'm doing great. How are you? So yeah, that's what it's looking like up here. And so I feel like this turned out really well. It wasn't quite like the Eye of Sauron look that I was going for, but the tower itself with like all of the detail I put into it, as well as just having this at the top, I think turned out really cool. So I'm very proud of this one. So that's one of the updates we've made. Thank you. I appreciate it. I am, in fact, very, very proud of how it turned out. So we did that. And then to go along with it, how long did the arms take you on top? The first one to design it maybe took me, I want to say about half an hour to design the arms so that way they went out the right distance and came up. So that way there would still be the beams going in. And then all I did is use a copy paste gadget and copy pasted each one of these to exactly where they're supposed to be on each side. And then I just had to fill in all the framed blocks. So after I had designed one of them, the rest of them went like, maybe it took me 5 minutes total. And that's just getting everything exactly where it needed to be. Yo, what's up, guys? How's everybody doing? I think you can change the colors on the ball if you want to dial it more towards the eye color. How do you do that? How would I change the... I know that is something you can do. Oh. Oh. Hold up. I don't know if I want to change it more towards that. What if we instead did this? I feel like that looks sick. Okay, and then this is the middle one, right? And then I really can't even see this at all. That's too blue. What if I did black? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that looks sick. Yo, what's up, Big Jim? How's it going? RGB ball. I actually really like that. That looks sick. Okay. Legacy reminder. Your screen is cut off a bit at the top so we can't see. Oh, I can't see what I'm doing at the top, just so we're on the same page. It's not actually cut off at all at the top. I just legit can't see up there because FTB whatever has all their buttons up there. Some of it was probably behind my camera though. That's a good point. RGB power storage goes hard. Yeah, well, and at the bottom it's cut off. Oh, it is cut off a little bit at the bottom. You're right. There. Better, much better. Okay, so now it shouldn't be cut off. I hate that I have that issue, but it's because I updated OBS. It reset some of those things. I had to spend half an hour figuring out why my Stream Deck wasn't working. And it's because apparently OBS changed a bunch of stuff in their API. And so Stream Deck had to update their stuff. And so I had updated OBS, but not the Stream Deck. And so it just didn't... It was a pain. Don't update stuff. That's the point. So yeah, colors look sick. Absolutely love this build. This thing is awesome. However, the big updates, I'm barely even into ATEM10, just got the alloy Paxel. What even is going on here? So this is basically a limitless power storage system. You know, that's because you're part-time and haven't streamed in ages. It's been 6 days. But you're right, it has, for me at least, it has been a long time since I streamed. Because I usually stream a lot more often. I do want to talk a little bit more about that later on. But yes, do you like ATM 10 to the sky? Should I try it? I played the normal ATM 10. I really like the progression of ATM 10 to the sky. What I said when it came out and I finished playing through the basic progression of it is I would love the base mods and star crafting and progression of all the mods 10 to the sky in a non to the sky pack. I feel like that would be a perfect like beginner type pack for people to learn how to play a mod in Minecraft, use AE2, get some resource generation set up. I feel like it's perfect. So I really, really like it. So this is basically a battery. It stores power. It is pointless other than the fact that it looks really cool because I've just got flux points hooked up to it that are hooked up to a creative cell. So I have infinite power already. So we're just charging an infinite power source with another infinite power storage with an infinite power source. That's all that's going on here. Hopefully that helps answer the question a little bit. This is just Draconic Evolution. And honestly, it's just there because it looks cool. That's the only reason I have it there. ATM 10 for a beginner is way too overwhelming. TTS is a nice balance of exploration. Yes, exactly. Exactly. The exploration is the only thing missing. Would you ever play Greg Tech? I probably will. At some point, I have technically agreed on playing it at some point, but I have made no guarantees, nothing set in stone as far as when. Totally agree. Just the right amount of grind versus ATM 10. The end game of ATM 10 feels so slow for no reason. I totally agree. Like all of the multi-blocks you have to build are so unnecessarily complicated. Like I wish we just went back to the other crafting recipe for the stars. Completely unnecessary tip. You can use SFM to extract and insert power from each side of the creative cube to the battery, and it goes a lot faster. I might have to try that. You don't know how hard I just popped off. TTS is a good starter if you're familiar with the resource curve of a sky block. That's true. Can you show me your island real quick? Would be nice. Absolutely. A lot of people will never achieve the end game of ATM 10 as it's too daunting. I agree. I mean, honestly, it was sort of just a pain for me as well. So this is our sky block setup that we have. This is sort of like our industrial area. We did a lot of the mechanism stuff in here. We have our create mechanisms in here and stuff like that. Our draconic infusion crafting is here. Didn't really utilize this building as well as I should have. This is our other industrial area. We have a lot more of like the industrial foregoing stuff in here, all of ore tech, our mechanism machines. It's several stories, so there's a lot more of like our automated ore processing and production. We got some gears in here. Shout out to Big Jim for these guys right here. We realized we were going to need a lot more resources, and so I set these up, basically a Big Jim farm for each of the gears that we needed a lot more resources of. And then these are all just like singularity crafts. That's all these are right here. Simulation chambers, automated AE2 stuff. That's about it. The chest is our storage. So we have both our functional storage in here with all our drawers and our AE2 storage with all of our drives. There's some other things in here too, but that's basically it. Water pool for fishing. There's some R stuff. There is a couple islands over here that we use for occultism. This back here behind this is just a mob farm. Those are just 2 mob farms I built. Whoop, whoop. Okay, now we get on to the cool stuff. So these right here are the automated crafters for all the mod stars. They are basically running as fast as they can consistently. I have currently 2 beehives full of Patrick bees. You'll notice that each one of these has 3 of the pokies in here and then 1 of the productivities because we're trying to get more Patrick bees. Ideally, what I'd like to do is fill up these 3, and then there's like, I want to say like 6 or 7 more hives around. I want to fill up all of those with Patrick bees because in here what we've done is built a few more beehives. And each one of these beehives has 5 starry bees, 3 pokies, and 1 productivity in it. So to give you an idea, if I were to go through and tick accelerate all of these starry bees, you can't really tell because of how slowly or how quickly it's exporting them, but we get a lot of starry combs incredibly quickly. And we get a lot of gene samples. So all the gene samples that are going into here are going from here directly into the gene indexer and are being combined in here. Currently, I have 4 stacks of 100% Sorry Bee genes. I also have 4 stacks of very high productivity genes, which means that we can make a ton of high productivity Sorry Bees. None of the other genes matter because I have it set to basically never rain and also never be night. So that won't matter at all. But yeah, so we can make a ton of combs and it processes through everything pretty quickly. If I ever needed to hurry it up, I could literally just accelerate a few of these and then all of the combs disappear out of here. So need to go back and watch a previous video. I'm so far behind. Most of this I did off camera. So all of this in here was me basically just tick accelerating the beehives, waiting for 100% gene samples to get in here, and then creating more bees. So most of that won't be in any of the videos. And then I'm just taking any of the full stacks I get here and dumping those right in here. So that's where we're at. That's what we've been up to. Looks sick. Why not pull the 100% into a different chest with a sophisticated stack add-on? 100%, you're right. I should do that. I honestly have just been using them, which is why. Like, I haven't had a need to store them because I basically just use them instantly. So there's that. Do I have a Chaos Bee? Yes, I do. I just closed out of that page. I need to go back to there. So we do have other bees around the island. One of those bees is a Chaos Bee, and he is neighbors to an Awakened Bee. So we've got 5 of these Chaos Bees and 5 of the Awakened Bees, and they produce combs and do everything as fast as they can as well. So that's where we're at. Currently, we're running into a little bit of a bottleneck. If I just let it run, it will continually try to make more stars. So we do have like star production automated in a requester. I'm going to go pull that up real quick so you guys can see that. So that way I don't have to keep requesting more stars. It's set to do 1 million, and it makes them in batches of 1,000. So that's what this craft is right here. And all of these are set up the exact same way with the exact same pattern inside. So it can just throw all the star pieces in and the stars can start crafting. I don't know if you guys have tried this, but if you try to tick accelerate these guys past 32, your game goes down to like 2 FPS. Like, that's 256. Oh, I guess maybe it's just if I do multiple. Yes, like if I do multiple of these, the whole game starts stuttering, which is fun, but is not necessarily super beneficial. So in order to really move forward, I like the Hobbit whole design you've got going. I made a giant greenhouse with framed blocks mod. Nice. That's really cool. So what we're planning on doing, and what I'm thinking I'm going to do, is I'm going to leave all of those bees in there because they're not actually producing that many starry combs at all. I need to keep it close by so that I can connect it with SFM blocks. So I think I'm going to come right off the back here, create another path and another island, and try to make, very similar to how I did with the chest, a hive block. And then inside of there, we're going to put a whole bunch of bees with just Omega upgrades. This ultimate crafting table is painfully slow. Yeah, I wish there was some way to accelerate it. I know there's not, but I really wish there was. To time wand, I'm using the exact same macro that we got at the beginning to do, what's it called? Sieving, where you basically click on the ground really fast. And it's just set to a button on my mouse. So yeah, it is a macro. It's just the use key. And so that way it basically goes up to 256 instantly. Does use a bunch of time fluid though, and it didn't automate time fluid, so we've been going down on that pretty quickly. But point being, we're getting a ton of starry combs, and the only thing we really have to do from here, because we can get basically as many bee spawn eggs at high productivity as we want, is create a place for all the bees to live where we can actually start processing through all of that material in a reasonable time. You've had no soul surging? Exactly. It would be so awesome if I could soul search. But I'm thinking it could be pretty cool to be like the first person on TTS that actually took the time to legit make the starry block instead of like using any other cheats or anything like that. Basically do exactly what Dragster did on All the Mods 10, only into the sky. Ultimate crafting table makes the Auto Hephaestus Forge look... That's funny. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of some of these real quick. And then we're gonna make the path right off here. And I think I may work on like the actual design of the building later. I may just try and start with like the actual place and then see about making it a little bit more efficient after. It's supposed to be the building tool. But yeah, that's basically what we've been up to. We have had a ton of progress as far as stuff with bees go. And that's been awesome. We're gonna go 4, 5. And so now all we're gonna do is just scale it up as much as I possibly can. And see if we can't actually start making progress towards something bigger. How many did I go out here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Perfect. Now I want to stick. Could you, in theory, set up a create deployer to auto use the time wand? They have pretty much disabled every way possible to auto use the time wand after the very first version of the pack was released. Because on the very first one, we used that and it went crazy. But afterwards, they disabled it pretty quickly. Okay, we're gonna grab another right stick real quick. Should be able to just go dink, dink, dink. Oh, it used all of it. Okay. Apparently, I gotta have it in my inventory. There we go. More. How's that looking? Closer to a square. I don't need it to be exactly a square necessarily. I just wanted it to be a big enough platform where we could actually get started and place down a ton of SFM cables. Let me see. Throw all of that into there. In theory, okay, 2 Omega upgrades and 2 speeder upgrades and the centrifuges go bar. Absolutely. I'm 90% sure I have that set up in all of these. I just have 1 Omega and 3 speedier in each of them. I think it does half a stack at a time. I think 2 and 2, I agree, is faster, I'm pretty sure. I just don't think I did that at the time because I was kind of struggling with getting enough of this draconic dust to do that with. But I do want to see if we've got any Patrick bees ready to be created yet, so you guys can see my process there. We have water draconic 69 on a Patrick. It doesn't look like there's any Patrick bees left yet. In that case, we're going to come back over here. What I want to do is kind of come up with a design for my SFM cables. Add SFM. Inventory cables. Make a bunch of them real quick. And beehives. And expansion boxes. This guy. Because if I do create a pattern we can use to do this with, and we can just copy paste it after and then not have to worry about it, which is kind of what I'd like to do. Do I have a shovel of any kind? I'm not digging this by hand. Oh, that's gonna be a quarrying shovel. Not what we want. Perfect. All right, now the only thing I've got to remember when doing this is that there does need to be, the block in the middle is going to need to be the feeding slab, so I'll need a bunch of those as well. So both of these will go all the way across. all the way there and there. Let's do the same thing here. And then feeding slabs in the middle. Grab a bunch of those real quick. Throw one of them down. We will building gadget it. We will fly to this side. Place those down. So star blocks will have to go on there. Anybody know if like a copy paste gadget would keep star blocks inside of the feeding slab or no? Your Insta link in the description isn't working. Well, that's sad. Why is it not? Is it broke? Did I broke to did it? I have no clue. I will do my very best. Instagram. Oh, it's because it's got those. All right, it should be right now. I think I copied it with the ellipses at the end. It won't copy with that. Okay, gotcha. So in that case, I don't even want to worry about doing that. What I want to do, when's the expansion? That one. So Beehive. I kind of want all these facing the right way, so that way I don't have to worry about that. So I'm going to manually place these down. Yeah, I had both of the Celestials. Go ham. There's that. And then the expansion boxes shouldn't matter because they'll snap with these and look correct. So there's that. If I put one of these down on top, we did that with it.
Torrid Sun says,
I put one
you could use
here.
SFM to send the star blocks on the feeding slabs, LOL.
I probably could. That's a good point. The only downside is that's like a one-time thing. But you're right. Let me grab a copy paste tool real fast. Copy paste gadget. So now what we want to do.
Derpit Zombie says,
make sure.
Yo, John, how's it going, lad?
You know what? It's going really good. Today's a good day. I'm gonna go right there. To right there. I don't really care about this whole line here being copied though. That's what we want to copy. Then I want to switch to paste. And then anchor it. Why? Oh, it's probably some setting I set up over here, right? So these technically can be right up against it. So what I want to do is bring it right there and right there. Confirm, place it all down. And then we're going to do setting menu. And all we should have to do is move it to there, right? Okay. Is it only pasting what I have in my inventory? It looks like it is. So does the copy paste tool not pull from your inventory even if it's linked?
Torrid Sun says, you didn't place the slabs and inventory cables, break the floor before pasting.
Oh. It doesn't paste over what's there? I feel like it should, right? Glad to hear, mate. What's planned for today's stream? We're trying to see how much progress we can make towards the
expansion box on first hive is wrong.
How is the expansion box on the first hive wrong? 1 sec. First hive. I think he's right. Uh-oh. Someone explain that to me. How do I lose network connection to a single player world? That's crazy. I don't remember if the copy paste has a setting override. Check. Okay, gotcha. I don't understand. How do you lose network connection to a single player local world? Somebody tell me that makes sense.
Says, John's back at it breaking things. XP.
Yeah, apparently I am. Apparently so. Very carefully, right? I blame Amazon. You know what? Somebody works in IT. Because I had a bunch of people that were working on that all day. That's crazy. That's really funny. Blame it on Kick. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that is a new one for me too. That happens to me 100% of the time if I have the game minimized while joining the world. That's interesting. That's very interesting. I've never seen it before. Quite cool. How convenient that AWS goes down today and I was off work sick. That didn't affect my company very much because we actually use Azure for everything. We don't use AWS for really anything at all. Oh, hey, look. Magically placed the right direction now. How very nice. So I gotta break this whole thing, right? All the ground. And then we're just gonna, honestly, you know what we're gonna do? What if we, well, we can't use SFM cables for all the ground, actually. That'd be really convenient if we could. We're just gonna literally break this whole thing now. Everything except the walkway to get out here. That we're not gonna break. We're gonna break the whole rest of it down. Okay. So I will need some sort of an anchor block here. Okay, that actually worked. So then G, settings menu. Is it here? Yep, right there. Place all of that down. Why is it still not placing down the B? I still don't have it in my inventory. That somehow makes a ton of sense.
Says, either the texture on that hive is wrong or my eyes are wrong. It looks funny on that first hive.
Does it? I mean, it could still be wrong. There's no doubt about it. I do need more feeding slabs first, though. Make a bunch of those real quick. Okay. I think this one's good now, though. So then we move back to here. We paste it down. No. Now something is messed up with them, I think. I don't know. I'm going to worry about that later. I know the blocks are in the right places. I may just have to actually place them down by hand or something. Setting menu. 1, 2, 3. Wait, I just move it 2? No, 3. Yeah, confirm. Perfect. So the plan is to do this, and then we're going to copy this, and we're going to go up. That's our plan here. That should allow us to have a ton of these beehives, which is what our goal is.
Mick Potter says, did you place hives instead of expansion boxes, LOL?
No, the bottom is still a beehive. The top is still an expansion box. It is set up right. I just don't think they're linking correctly because they weren't like manually placed down or something. I don't know for sure. But I'm also not super worried about it yet. Anyone else getting audio stutter? Is it just me? I hope you're not. If you are, I'm sorry. I didn't notice anything. Okay. All right. I can't actually hear it myself, so I have no clue if you are. Everything looks good. I don't see any dropped frames or anything. But again, for better or worse, this is a rather experimental stream. Trying to make sure I got everything figured out for multi-streaming and all of that. Okay, make sure, no, so it does look like some of the things are being used out of my inventory. Does your soul lava work? Because in my world, it doesn't. It does for me. For everything I used it for, it did at least. I'll be honest, I haven't used it in a while though. One thing I did notice is after I updated today, all of my unobtainium bees were just gone out of their beehive and I had to remake them. That's as far as it goes. Okay, so in that case, I have to re-anchor. And then bring this all the way back over here. I think it has to come this way one. All right, we're getting there. I think it's not perfectly centered either way. Well, we are getting a lot closer. Why is there a... Oh, it's because that's that block. Okay, okay. I can live with that. Yeah, it was me. My earbud just died. Okay, good. I'm glad. $2 internet audio is fine here. Good. Awesome. Your eyes. Here's what we're going to do. We're actually going to We're gonna make this centered. You guys can sue me for this, but it's gonna make my life so much easier if we just do that, and then now it's centered. So 1, 2, 3, 4.5. 1, 2, 3, 4.5. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So that's gonna house a lot of bees. A ton of bees. Also, the path isn't centered on the island. Whatever. We're just gonna ignore it all. If we ignore it, then it doesn't exist and it never happened. That's what I'm thinking. So, oh my goodness. I didn't think about that. I didn't think about that at all. Not even a little bit. Can't see if, what if I can't ignore it? I don't know what to tell you. We could just get rid of the walkway. But that's about as good as it's gonna get. What I can do though is switch this back to copy. Right click there. And then shift right click here. And then I don't remember which one I anchor it next to. Anchor, and then settings. Did I switch it to paste? I did. Settings menu. Oh, that's the wrong one. Hold up. No, I'm not cut pasting. I'm copy pasting. I'm doing exactly what I wanted to do. Okay, so we're going to anchor there. That is lined up right. That is also lined up right. And then do we want them right on top? We could just do it right on top. We might just do it right on top. I'm strongly considering right there. What are y'all's thoughts? What do you think? Because we could do a ton of layers of this. And then we could have like the bottom layer be our Patrick bees. And then have all of the rest of the layers be our starry bees. If you place the inventory cables connected to the expansion box, you can also use SFM to send upgrades and the bees. I actually really like that idea. I think we will probably do that. So you're saying if I do it like this and I have the cables on top, then I can just send stuff like that. Let's see how much of this it actually is able to do. I'm out of beehives, I think. Productive bees, beehives, and expansion boxes. Did I grab all of them, or I think I have them already? Try it again. Hey, that actually was not that bad. I didn't really have to create anything else extra for that. Yeah, okay. I'm kind of liking this. I'm liking the concept. I think I've got more than enough to work with as far as we need to put bees in here. Because that's going to be a lot of bees. For now, let's do what Tortson said, and let's connect inventory cables to the top of all of these. And then we are going to need to do some more specialized SFM. Building gadget, set it to that. But I do want to start sending just a ton of Omega upgrades to these, but I don't really have that many Omega upgrades that I can use yet. But we'll have to see. We might start with doing it manually at first and then go from there. Dude, I made 1,000 inventory cables and that wasn't enough. Wild. Okay. Hey, John, what's good? Good to be back. Haven't caught a stream in a hot bit. Welcome, Webstar. How are you? You can also camo the inventory cable so you don't see them. That's a cool idea. I don't know what I would camo them with, though. That's the only thing. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to have to connect these somehow. So I'm thinking I'm just going to run one along the whole back of each line. And then it's going to have to go down in front as well. Like each one of these lines get one. So right there. And then now all of these are connected to each other. I just need to connect it to this. We'll run that to right there. We're going to definitely run it underneath the walkway. That way you don't have to see it. And then run it to right there. Okay, everything should be connected now. Yeah, I don't think... That's a bug. I think it is a bug specific to how it places those down and whether or not it recognizes that they are a multi-block or not. Does Soul Love It? Yeah, we got that one. Okay. Trying to keep up with 3 chats now, making sure I'm not missing anything on any of them. It's slightly harder than 2, but not that much better. Not that much worse. All right. How's stream going? Pretty good. We're trying to take your video from today and go one step further. What annoys me is you need an internet connection to even play single player worlds. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah, Dragster, that was a crazy video. You did really well. Also, the editing on it was insane. Great job on that. Hey, followed your XP farm for ATM 10 on a server with a few friends. Crashed the server constantly for 3 hours, 150k intermittent. Had to troll the dev for a bit. Thank you for your time and dedication. All right, Mighty Power. At least I mentioned at the beginning of that video that it would cause those kinds of issues, and I knew it would. You're not the first person that's actually done that on accident. You can ask Cryptex did basically the exact same thing in his single player world where he forgot about it and was moving his kill chamber and then accidentally forgot it was on, and then he came back and there was like 150 thousand Endermen just in his world. Yeah, okay, I could have done a lot better with the pipes there. I'll be the first to admit that. But it was functional, right? The pipe part wasn't as important. I just wanted to show off what you could do. Not necessarily that that was the way you should do it. But yeah. So what do I do with all of the rest of these that are broken and are going to cause issues as soon as I try to right click on them? Because I can't really be kicked out of my world that many times. If I were to place them down, gotta take these boots off. They do snap in correctly. So if I try to do more than one at a time, they don't snap in correctly, and it kicks me out of my world. All right. We are going to be placing those down one at a time. That's wild. What's the recipe for the star? 42 star shards and a Patrick star into one of the extended crafting crafters. It's pretty simple. I think it's funny that John is carrying 31,000 XP on him at the moment. That is from the mob farm that I built in that video they were talking about. The devs will say it's a feature. Yeah, I'll be honest with y'all. I have pretty much given up on ever reporting any bugs or issues because I don't care. Like, I'm sure it would probably help them, but I'm sure they probably heard any bug that I'm going to submit from other people. So I'm not too worried about it. Are you telling me I did my video on the most difficult one? 100% yes, you did. And that's coming from somebody who played all the mods 7, 8, 9, 9 to the sky, 10, and 10 to the sky. That star recipe was by far the most difficult. And you made 1 million of them, which is probably even more impressive. TTS star recipe is a lot cheaper, but takes longer for each craft star because Ultimate's crafting tables are slow. Yeah, they are very, very slow. So What that means is we have to break the rest of these and place them all down manually. But at least it lets me like actually break them all. And it doesn't break like the whole snap together structure at once. And I can basically do it 2 rows at a time because they're next to each other. A lot of perks there. All right, expansion boxes. I have to go through each one of these rows now. Sounds like you're making multiple. I did. So I already have 25 of them built. And it crafts stars reasonably quickly. Just not quick enough. And you can tick accelerate it with a time wand. But if you tick accelerate with a time wand, it makes your FPS drop to like 2. So that's tons of fun. It does go quicker, but it goes quicker at the detriment of your entire game. All right. Once we get all of these up, I do think I'm gonna grab the SFM label, whatever, label maker, label thing. Label gun, that's the thing. And we'll label all of these things, because I do want to label the top things differently from the bottom. Sounds like a skill issue. No, it's just the quantity issue. We're gonna end up with a ton of those later on, though. Because they're not that hard to make. The only annoying part about it is that you have to manually save the recipe in there. And that's kind of a pain. But once you have the recipe saved, it'll continue to auto make whatever you've got. You could soul surge it, except soul surging isn't into the sky, and neither is entangled block. So there's just no way really around how slow it is and needing to just have a whole bunch of them. I'd use a separate manager first to send the stuff in. That way your main code doesn't turn into spaghetti. That's a really smart idea. I think for the first several, we're going to go through and do it manually, maybe. But we can take a look at it. I'm the only thing I'm not sure about is how many Omega upgrades I'm going to be able to make. And that is because my Omega upgrades are dramatically limited by my ability to produce honeycombs, which I can currently only make using honey essence. And I made like 8 or 9 different MA seeds for it, but it's still pretty slow. Also, what would you recommend for my next video series? FTB Skies, ATM10, TDS, or GregTech? The pain, I have heard of that. I mean, I think from a content creator perspective, all the mods tend to the sky. FTB Skies was really good, but less people watched it. All the mods tend to the sky is really good and a bunch of people watch. GregTech, I think there is a community for it, but I think the community of people are people who also will play GregTech. And so you will probably get really good suggestions, but it will probably be a little bit harder to build an audience that way, if that makes any sense. I don't know. GregTech people sort of watch GregTech videos and I don't know.
Nick Potter says, buy some basic bees from the market and shove them in some hives to get you honey.
So do they give you honey? They will give you honeycombs, won't they? So I just need to not send those to centrifuges. I think that's my only problem. First time in the live. What's up, King Carter? How's it going? We're doing good. All right, I'm almost finally done with this level. I cannot wait. Yeah, that's fair. I was leaning towards TTS. It is a lot of fun. And honestly, it is probably my favorite all the mods pack so far progression-wise. I did really enjoy all of the early and mid and late game for the pack. Like, there was nothing that was just so annoying that it just pained me to do it. Since vanilla. Okay, that makes sense. You guys are right, though. I don't have any basic vanilla Minecraft beats. I got my first quantum sword. I don't even want to make the armor. Yeah, I feel that. I made it once on the one playthrough of All the Mods 10 that I did MI, and I never did it again. And I don't necessarily plan on going that far into MI ever again to do it. I just wish the quests were better at showing the star. No, it'll get better as it goes. Yeah, you're right. I do think they added a chapter 3. I know there's been a couple updates recently, but I'm not sure if that has progressed whatsoever. It would not shock me if it has not. Okay, the whole second layer's done. I still have to do all of the first layer though. I think I'm just gonna break all these real quick. And then I may place them back down later at another time because I'm not really wanting to do that right now. So we've got that whole top layer done. Let me grab my label gun real quick. We'll grab the label gun. I do need to make a new label though. What if I don't know if I'm gonna use I don't know. What do we got? Let's just hook these up real quick. Hives. That's just gonna be this, that, those. Making sure I get the bottom ones and not the top ones. Hives. Okay. Were there any other that I need to do? No, it's just hive. Perfect. Let's go back and let's push these in here.
Says, second layer of hives isn't connected to the rest of SFM.
I thought I ran it down the back over here. Well, so what I intended to do was that. I understand I didn't, but I intended to do that. Now it's there. Thank you for telling me that. I would have been very frustrated and confused as to why it was not working. All right, throw all of that in there. And then I guess we just go full bees, right? And well, we need a bunch of Omega upgrades. Let's look at our Omega upgrades real quick and what we can do to get more of those. Because I know I have some. I've got 10, but I mean, we're looking at making a ton of these. Not 1,000 necessarily, but like a couple hundred. We started with that. But I do need a ton more honey essence and a bunch more draconic dust, as well as squid and nautilus shells. But what if I wanted to make like 20 more? I still don't have enough honey essence for that. So you guys are saying take bees. Just normal bees. That's a normal bee. That's a normal bee. Do normal bees take bee treats? Is that something I can do? That should be 5. Honey treats. Yes, they do. Perfect. That's what I needed. I'm going to grab one of those real quick. We'll come back over here. Should have 5 honey treats there. I need some cages real quick. Cage. Snag those. And then I need a flower, but I can just use one of those. Cool. What we're going to do is take one of these random beehives over here and turn this one into an actual bee one. We'll take that out, we'll put the chorus flower in. I do want to take 3 more of these, toss them in, and then we're going to place down each one of these bees, give it a high productivity, and then pick it back up and we'll throw them in here. But for now, I'm going to go back in here where they're not going to fly off and get away. So that, what on earth? He was mad at me. Why was he so mad at me? Do we have any thoughts? Does that one have high productivity? Which one's that? Very high is this one, right? That one's good. Alrighty. That one's good. I think something's hitting it when it spawns in. Anyways, all 5 of those are now super high productivity. I'll run them back over here to their beehive. We'll throw them all in there. And even though they stung me, they shouldn't die because they're in a beehive. Double check, make sure that it's working. Yeah, it's a lot of honeycomb blocks. And let's double check that we're getting... So honeycomb blocks aren't coming back into here. So are they just going into here? They are. Doesn't look like they're being... So how do I tell the SFM code to take the honeycomb blocks and put them into here? Because currently, configurable combs... So this is just the productive bee combs are going from the barrel to the centrifuge, right? Do I need to set up an entire another every ticks? Like this. And then say every 20 ticks input from the output to centrifuge with output Minecraft comb. Okay. So we are inputting each. We don't have to input each. We just input. Does Minecraft have to be capitalized? Minecraft comb. Does comb work for comb block? Oh, for any comb. Okay, that's right. So then there's that. Comb. I don't want to do bottom side. How do I... So I... An output to storage. So input. So this, that, from... And this is going to be from storage. No, this is going to be from barrel. What did we call that? Barrel. Barrel. Yes. We like this. I think this is correct. And then that should take, I hit F1. Comes from here and move them. Double check it's not this. No. Edit. Minecraft comb from barrel. Check what is the name. Maybe comb isn't it. So that would be if I were to done in here. What is it? F3H. Hold up. Oh, I put an extra character in there for no reason. E. What? F3H. Advanced tooltips. E. Should I just put that in? Honeycomb underscore block. Just directly whatever it is. It's just actual. Okay, honeycomb. And then it'll do any honeycomb. So that way, whether it's this honeycomb or the other one. Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. Honey. Honeycomb done. So now. Yep. Perfect. Okay. So we should have honeycomb coming in now, which means we should be able to make a bunch more Omega upgrades. Actually, what we should do is go to our pattern for honeycomb and change it so that instead of that, it is coming from blocks. Honeycomb blocks this. And then we put that back in there, so that way it's not even using the essence, because we don't care about it. We're going to be getting honeycomb blocks anyways. Perfect. Okay. All right, so we're getting a ton of more honeycombs, and it is in a manner where if we do run out, I can always just come over here and do that. We're going to be getting more than enough. Is that not? Oh, it's inputting fast enough. That's fine. Okay, so now if I do Omega upgrades, and I say make 100. We do need more honeycomb blocks. That'll come in. But we need more Nautilus shells and squid essence as well. Which currently, we're getting through this guy. Nice little marine fisher here. And honestly, it's doing its job pretty good. It's not bad. And if I wanted to, I could dramatically increase the speed of this by just tick accelerating it. but this was like our early game solution to both of these, and we probably could and should set up others. So John, does 100 or 1,000 9x blocks sound good for my next big video? Good Lord, dude. That's a lot of effort. I mean, 100 would be crazy. Could just use hostile neural networks too. That's fair, I could. Honestly, at this point, I could just pipe it directly into my system and not even do this. Like, I could just put a storage bus on top and tell it to output to the top. Here we are. Still doing things dumb ways. If I want to make 100, can I do that yet? No, we still need more honeycomb blocks. Get that figured out first. Okay, let me back down in here. Can I make 50? Because the point is just to get enough where we can get a nice solid row going and start getting some more of these starry bees put down, but put down in a manner where they're actually just going to be producing combs instead of more bees. Because all of these in here are set up basically just to make me more of these. But we're at the point where we don't really need more. Let me grab a whole bunch of these. Oh, it just made me one. Honey, treats. All right, 64 honey treats. I need a bunch of eggs. Got some chicken essence. Here's what we're gonna do. Speed this up like crazy. Throw the eggs in there, get these guys going. We'll get all 64 of these. And then still have to make honey treats for the others. Honey treats with the high productivity. 64 of those, 64 of those. And the bee cages. Oh, I guess I have more starry bees than I thought I did. Does anybody know a faster way to go about doing it than exactly what I'm doing here? Because I need to do all three of these steps where I place it down in the world. I need to give it a high productivity treat, and I need to get it into a bee cage. All three of those things need to happen. But this is just about the fastest way I can think of or have found to be able to do that. Is just sit here with all three on my hotbar and hope the bees don't get away. Let's throw the eggs real quick. We will need some more starry blocks when we get over there, but that should be enough. Use a catcher to capture the bees you spawn. Okay, but then how do I get the high productivity on them? That's the only part of that because I have thought about doing that. Hate these boots. I hate the step up on those boots. Productivity 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that should be it, right? And these guys should start producing. Oh, starry block. Right there. So then same thing here. And then we go grab all the rest of the Omega upgrades we have. That one. I'm going to try to just move along this as conveniently as I can. And now that I have extra room in my inventory, I'm going to take those boots to step up off. But I'm thinking by the end of this, I do have a throughput monitor set up specifically for Starry Bee or stars as well. Just so I can get an idea of where I actually kind of end up. Let me do one more real quick. So that way I finish off on an even beehive. And then let me grab one more starry block. Almost hit 100,000. There's that. Reroll the step with apotheosis. I could do that. An incubator. Makes sense. Let me double check this real quick. So it is making it and it is pulling it in. Perfect. So then all of these should be as well. Excellent. Let me grab a few more starry blocks real quick. And I'll just go through and set these up as well. The nice thing is this part here where I'm putting like the Omega upgrades in and the starry blocks and the feeding slab covers a ridiculous amount of bees. For every starry block that I'm putting down, 10 bees feed off of it. And the bees are going to take way longer to make. Single feeding block.
Says, scroll down while hovering on the star block to send only one to the slab.
Oh, okay. So the only problem is it doesn't put it where I like it. I don't know why, but I love it in the middle where it's like angled up. But that is a super, super good tip. I think if I hadn't done this whole line like that, I probably will do the rest of the lines that way because I do think it'll save time. So now let's double check that we're all good in here. Still keeping up. Well, except I tick accelerated it. Besides that, we're still keeping up. I do need to make more Omega upgrades for beehives. Is there, with mystical agriculture, I know I could get squid essence that way. I probably should get squid essence that way. Should I do the same thing with like the nautilus shells? Get rid of those, get rid of those, get rid of that. And then I can catch 2 more. Perfect. Has to have the block in the middle, but wouldn't fix the height. I feel like you just called me out there. I mean, you make a very good point. Let's be real. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a very, very reasonable objection. I'm selectively OCD apparently. All of those should be good. Make sure they all get filled up with honey real quick so that I can tell which ones I put bees in and which ones I haven't. So I still have 4, 5, 6 hives that I can fill up. So 30 bees. I've got 31. That seems like a very convenient number. I just don't want any of the starry bees going to those beehives over there. I'm going to try to actually catch them all in here. Whenever I do this, I focus. And it makes it very hard to read chat or even think about anything. Drink me your hostile neural network for shells. That's fair. Not unless you get pretty fast with hostile neural networks. I'm not sure about MA. Okay. We will look into both of those things because I have a feeling those are going to be my bottlenecks for Omega upgrades from here on out, probably. I can make one more. We're going to fly back over there. We'll fill up those beehives. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that one doesn't have any. Perfect. And then I'll throw 1 in there. We'll go make the rest. I need 9 more, I think. 1, 2, 3. Grab a couple of these.
Torrid Sun says, or you could use antimatter to craft knot shells too. LOL. Pretty cheap at this point.
I didn't even know that was a thing. Let me not get too sidetracked. Honey treats. I need like 8 of these real quick. And then you said nautilus shells you can craft with antimatter? Oh, there's a bee for it. Oh, the prismarine bee. I think we're likely going to end up doing that. That is most likely going to be our method. Ink. An ink sac. Loot fabricator is probably going to be the plan there. I didn't even realize the prismarine bee had it. Third to last for the nautilus shell. Last. Those are trades. Oh, a flower pot and 3 millibuckets of antimatter. A nautilus shell. That's so interesting. I didn't even know you could do that. Four, 5. All right, that's all of them. I do want to see about our Patrick bees. How are those looking? We got 3 starries there. Those are kamikaze bees. There's 100% Patrick and 195%. Okay. I'm going to take Excel the Patrick bees real quick because I'd like to start getting these filled up. We have more Patrick stars coming in. And then we're looking at this one is full. This one has 1. And then fill this one up too. And then speed up these. Cool. So those should just be producing starry cone blocks and not any of the genetic stuff at all. Means this should start going a lot faster. I just want to take a quick little peek-sees over here at the throughput monitor. Well, that's not exactly what we were hoping to see. What's our hold up on stars? There are no autocrafts for it going. Oh, we just don't have enough star shards. Why don't we have enough star shards? I mean, we could get enough star shards. I just gotta go through here real quick and do a little bit of this. You know what else we could do? I need to reset the throughput monitor. How does one do that? It probably just finished crafting a batch. You're right. Let's change it from 1,000 down to just not one at a time. What's a more reasonable number? Like, what if is 100? I feel like 100 is probably more reasonable. Well, I didn't save it. If I did 100 at a time, it can probably do that a lot more reasonably. Break it and reset it, change it to however many crafters you have. That's a really good point. Because then it just sends one at a time, right? I gotta wait for that to finish. There we go. It's doing 25 at a time. I didn't change it. I didn't change it. I didn't. Darn it. I keep forgetting to submit changes. I feel like if you edit it, it should go into effect. I feel like it's odd that you have to like change it and then confirm that you changed it and then that I don't know. Maybe that's just me. 4 at a time on each is fine too. I mean, that's what that is. You're right. That way it just sends 4 and then you're good. Okay. We'll leave it there. Let's see if it changes the throughput monitor at all. If it does. So I was making like 6 a second. I feel like it should be faster than that. Well, no, because it does take several seconds for each one of these to craft, now that I think about it. And for it to put all the stuff in there. It is just slow. Day 1 of asking for John Hall merch. 6, 7? 6, 7? That's funny. Did they fix that issue then? Which issue are we talking about? Hey, we got 100,000. If the goal was 1 million, then we would be 1/10 of the way there, which is pretty good. It's not 1 million, but we're getting there. So Patrick bees. Those are still starry bees. We'll put those down there. Those are 200% Patrick bees. I'm going to grab cages. I need honey treats, which are already in there. And I need 2 of these. So we grab those. We grab these. We put 2 of these into here. And then that. 1, 2, 3. Did that already have? No, it just didn't apply to it. Okay, there we go. Cool, 2 more Patrick bees. All of these should already be set up. Yeah, they are. Patrick. So now I just tick accelerate all 3 of those. Okay, so you have 100,000 stars and I don't even have one spare some change. Absolutely. Jordan, we've been waiting. His storage broke. And the man went part-time, so never fixed it. Okay, so I gotta be honest with y'all, all right? Just because you guys are asking about it right now, I spent 3 hours yesterday setting back up the store, designing the merch, and getting it ready to go. As part of what I'm going to be doing, hopefully this weekend, we're going to release some limited time merch. I don't want to do merch all the time, right? I could have it out there all the time, but I don't want to, because I don't want people to ever feel like it's just like, oh, he's trying to just get money. Like, I want it to be like, oh, hey, we did something. Here's the merch. So as part of hitting 30,000 subscribers,
and still didn't stream.
No, I didn't stream. I'm sorry. As part of hitting 30,000 subscribers, we're going to do a couple things. I'm going to say this once again. I am considering possibly trying to do a 24-hour stream and doing the merch release. Both of those two things. We're considering those two things as like a sort of like, hey, we hit a big milestone. And that may seem like a really odd milestone for everybody. Like, okay, what's so cool about 30,000 subscribers? For me, at least, when I started making YouTube videos and actually started like saying, hey, I would really want to do this full time, the person that I sort of like, not necessarily idolized, but really looked up to was Alfred GG. And he was at 30,000 subscribers when I started making YouTube videos. And that was sort of like, okay, he's done it. He's made it. That's sort of like the number where it's like, okay, you've done it, right? And so for me, hitting 30,000 seems like such an arbitrary number, but it's like, okay, that I've hit the point that he was at when I was like, okay, he had made it, right? And so I don't think that I've necessarily made it per se. This is still not like a full-time thing for me, but it is a really big and cool milestone for me to hit. So that's the plan. I think it's worldwide. I'm almost positive it's going to be worldwide. I'll have to go check on what Fourth Wall does, but I'm pretty sure it will be. But that's the plan. John Hall merch, as of right now, unless you guys want something different, the plan is to have my logo on the front and a small like little patch, and then the logo on the back really big, for both like hoodies and t-shirts and sweatshirts. And I don't necessarily want to do anything for like, hey, 30,000, because I feel like that's like a little specific, and I don't know. I don't know, but that's the plan as of right now. We will see. I do think, based on my current subscriber numbers, that it's going to fall perfectly on like next Friday. So I could start a 24-hour stream on like early Saturday morning and run into Sunday morning, but it better be, or you'll be less than 30K when I unsub out of spite. I've seen so many of those videos where like people are like almost at 1 million subs. And then as soon as they get close, everybody starts unsubbing and it starts dropping down. They make me laugh so much. But I will check on that, because I do want it to be worldwide. I think there's no point for it not to be, right? That's the plan. But as of right now, that's what I'm thinking. I did want to mention that this stream, because I am trying to get more stuff out there that you guys have been requesting. The other part of that is I am also considering, not on YouTube, but streaming more other things. Because the reason I haven't streamed over the last week is because, to be honest, I've just been super burnt out with Minecraft. Like, I enjoy Minecraft, but it's kind of monotonous, for better or worse. You basically do the same thing. Like, this will be the first time I've ever had this many All the Mod stars. Legit, you know? Like, I did it in All the Mods 10, but that's because I duped the star blocks, right? But if you don't ship to the UK, at least the rest of the world can be left up. That's funny. But I'm considering, at least on Twitch and Kick, starting to stream other things. Like, I've been playing a lot of Battlefield 6, and it's been a lot of fun. Like, a real lot of fun. So I might start streaming some other things on days where I just don't want to play Minecraft. And I guarantee I'm going to have like 5% of the views that I do normally if I do that. Fire up Satisfactory server and play with us. That sounds fun. Overwatch, I do enjoy Overwatch. Overwatch is a lot of fun. You catch me on Torb. He's my guy. But yeah, that's the plan. I want to start, at least on the streaming side, being more of like a multi-streamer instead of just Minecraft. But I do think my YouTube channel is going to stay just for Minecraft. Yeah, playing other games helps a lot with the burnout. I've been having a lot of fun skill issues with Hollow Knight for a while now, and it's awesome. That's fun. See, I am garbage at Battlefield 6. I'm a pretty decent sniper. I can snipe okay, but if you give me close range with like some sort of submachine gun, I'm not good. It's not a good thing for anybody on the team. Get a Battlefield team going. Huge party of all us playing together as a stream. That'd be so much fun. See, that's what I'm saying. I feel like I'm at the point where their community's big enough where we could start doing some stuff like that, and it would be a lot of fun. I would enjoy it at least. But yeah, those are the updates I've got as far as what I want to do long term. So that's the plan. Do teams of 30, that would be so many. Or Faz or Demonologist. I think that would be fun, especially with Halloween just around the corner. Get some like real spooky streams going. That'd be a lot of fun. But again, I don't think I'm going to stream those on YouTube because I feel like at this point, YouTube's kind of locked in and has an expectation that all my streams are going to be Minecraft, right? And so I think if I do that, it's going to be a lot more on Twitch and Kick. Or maybe just Twitch, because I go either way on Kick. I really do not care about it whatsoever. Maybe we would rip it up. How many people are streaming a full team of 32 versus 32? That's true. That's actually really true. I saw some crazy jet play today on Battlefield 6 where this guy went like 105-1, and it made me want to like learn how to get good at that. All right, Omega upgrades. Let's see how close we are to being able to craft like 30, 40 more of these. So it's just squid essence. Okay, let's do this. I need one of these. And then I need a squid spawn egg, which I'm pretty sure I can get from the market. Which still exists somewhere. Yes, here it is. Squid. I don't remember what it is. It's diamond. Got it. So I'm going to grab several of them, because I don't know how many of them I actually need. And I want to make sure I'm not just going to like run out. I do also need my deep learner. Let's grab that real quick. We're going to place squid down. Model framework. Throw that into the deep learner. 6 remaining for faulty. How are we looking? 4 remaining to go to advanced. We're just going to get a bunch of these. I'm just going to spawn in what I have. And then take them all out. And then hopefully it'll be at least close enough to self-aware where I don't have to worry about it taking forever to like ramp up. So I think that would be the only even slightly annoying thing. Is if it took like 40 minutes for this thing to actually get self-aware and ready to go. But I got another spawn egg from killing him. 32, that's close. Just time in a bottle of the simulation chamber, that's true. Need to do a spooky stream with jump scare bits and channel points for dips to make self-aware quickly. That is actually a really good point. I could do that. We could do a spooky stream, and I'm not opposed to that at all. I do not need any more nether stars. Nether stars are the last thing in the world I need. I didn't realize that I was getting nether stars from all the mod stars, like the starry combs, until like way too late. And I had like 40 million star shards from that. All right, put the ink sac. I think I need to tell this what I want. Those. We'll speed that up. Cool. And I think I have to speed up the manager too, so it starts pulling stuff quicker. I think that's going to go pretty slow. Sweet. All right. So we should have enough squid essence now. Now we said prismarine bees, which I definitely have some of. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. can make our Nautilus shells. Their flying block is Prismarine. How does one get that? Bingo bango. Go set up a Prismarine hive real quick. Don't need nether stars. This is a problem I've never had. Well, not just that I don't need nether stars. I don't know what to do with them. I have them set up on one of those, like, the auto crafters, the nether, the whatever. I've got 16 million of them, and they're just sitting there. And I don't know what to do with them. I've been thinking about maybe, like, trying to make the 9x nether star block too. Just because, like, I don't know what else I'm going to do with them. I'm going to take those two out. Can I make 2 Omega upgrades real quick? Make 2 of those. I should be able to. We'll toss those back in here. Grab these back. Don't care about that hive. We're working on this one. Those 2 are stars. We grab that out. We put this in. And then I make sure this thing speeds up. So we are getting Nautilus shells. I think I'm going to have to add another line of code to make sure that the Nautilus shells export too, because I think they're just going to stack up here. And not even very fast either. I think it's just a 1% chance though. So that makes sense. But still. Yo, what's up, pal Matt? How's it going? I'm doing good. Make a super max beacon on each corner of your base. That would be cool. How's the mod pack coming along? So we've already completed the mod pack. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Sorry you lost the game. Darn it, Lex. How are you? How's your day been? The mod pack's coming along really good. We basically already beat it. At this point, we're trying to make a 9x starry block for no reason other than I want to see how hard it is, and I've never done it before. So there's that. So I need this exact code here. Can I add like an and? Like input Minecraft honeycomb and?
Lex Unam says,
oh, my mod pack?
That it does not sound on OTDS.
Oh, yeah. Oh, actually, there's some cool things on Botrix now that I just saw because I've got the premium version of it where I can actually set up like AI voices. And we can change the voice of it, which would be cool. My mod pack's coming along really good, actually. PT has been working a ton on it. We've gotten some work on the quest done. The problem we're having now is just that there's so much to do and so few of us to do it. And like I said, I only have so much time during the day. And a lot of my time is more spent on the trying to make content side of things.
Says,
and less on...
TDS can do numbers?
No, it can't do numbers yet. Honeycomb, comma, Nautilus shell. Honeycomb... Nautilus. Make sure I spell that right. Nautilus underscore shell. Like that. And then it should export. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, sweet. So now, if we ever need more of it, all we have to do is tick excel it. And it should. That's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. That's the right one. Or we could just throw more Prismarine bees in there and get more. But it took me so long to figure out how to make my Botrix say numbers out loud. How did you do it? How did you do it? Because I haven't messed with it. If you want to like send me a little Discord DM and be like, yo, here's the secret, that'd be cool. We do have another Patrick we could add. I don't really care about
Lex
it.
Unam says, now KRYPTX you can brag to John. Bag.
Bag? Uncheck the ignore symbols and it will let the bot say numbers. Oh, that actually makes a lot of sense. Hold up. Just give me 2 seconds here. We're going to go Botrix live. Log in with that. Switch to this. Click on that. Okay, we're in. Cat bot is not it. Unless it's commands. No, it's widgets, right? Well, there's an AI TTS. Hold up, give me a second here. I'm not going to worry about that right now. That's going to mess with stuff I don't want to mess with. Where's TTS? There's subathon, wheel of TTS. Here we go. So you said there's a checkbox. Ignore symbols and messages. All right. If they don't have it, okay. Try again. Also, we're increasing character limit to 200. Try saying some numbers real quick. See if I actually got that fixed.
KRYPTX Plays says.
It didn't. It didn't. It didn't change it. I may have to restart OBS in order for it to work.
Torrid Sun says. Mick Potter says. Mic check.
It doesn't work still. So you said, I just want to make sure I change the right one here because that should have been the right one. It should have worked. Refresh the browser source. So just update the URL. How do I refresh a browser source? Browser source, TTS. Rename, remove, add source, properties. Refresh cache of current page. Okay, try again real quick. I could just update the source, you're right. But I think it should work now. No, it didn't. It still didn't work. Okay, in that case, I do have to actually probably recopy the URL for it. I'm going to do it because I basically have already fixed it.
Lex Unam says.
It definitely still doesn't work because it's definitely not working. Where is it? Widgets. There it is. Okay, TTS.
Mick Potter says.
Ignore large. There's actually a specific one for large numbers. Let me save settings. Close out of both of those. We're going to copy this. We're going to come back over here. Go properties.
Lex Unam says, now I don't want it to be fixed BCS the single name says.
Okay. All right. Try one more time for me. Doesn't have to be everybody, but just like one try. I remember you used to work with small numbers. That's fair. TTS. Don't forget to like and subscribe to John. Also, join his Discord. Heck yeah!
Dragsterking HD says, don't forget to like and subscribe to John. Guys, also join his Discord. KRYPTX Plays says.
I don't know why it's still not. We updated it and everything. Let me go check what Cryptex sent me and see if there's some secret magic thing that I just missed. So you have just the bottom one. Repeated letters and emoticons I still had on. That's now saved. PTS properties. Refresh cache of current page. And then click OK. All right, try that one more time. I appreciate the screenshot. That was actually incredibly helpful.
Lex Unam says, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I'm invincible! I'm just kidding. We did get it, though. It works now. I don't know if it works with big numbers now, but it certainly kind of works now. Okay. So... if we said we were going to make 50 of these,
KRYPTX Plays says 9,920.
It definitely works with big numbers, no question about that. All right, let's take these Omega upgrades and we're going to go pop them all in and see how many more bees we can put in now because we're getting these Omega upgrades a lot quicker. Got to take them boots off. Okay, this one, 2.
Lex Unam says, numbers on the TDS have brought to UTNX to KRYPTX. After he broke the and I had it double my TDS only to know why.
Yeah, that one's only got 2. We should have like 7 hives worth that we can do. All right. You said numbers on the TTS have been brought to you by Cryptex. After he broke it, I had to double my TTS. I don't know why. That's funny. In Invincible broke as a single player world clicking a beehive. I hear what you're saying. That is yeah, I did do that. I did break the network on a single player local world. Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. Good point. I want to run these Omega upgrades over and see how many more bees we can do, because we should be getting closer to the middle. Ideally, I'd like to get to like the end of it all, but I don't know if we're going to necessarily get that far. But these ones are actually going to be the ones that are producing a ton. Let me make sure that's not important. Got a message from work. Hoping it has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with me. It just says AWS is back up. Woohoo. We used it for one thing that was a very small part of our company and not business critical. So,
Lex Unam
huge
says,
W's.
Note, if you don't follow John Farms and Trudson advice, your world will not be broken.
I have 2 star bees on me already. I basically just need honey treats and then to throw them on the ground and capture them. I do also, now that I'm thinking about it, need a bunch of eggs. So those, we're going to grab Starry Bee treats, high productivity treats. I've got 1 egg on me. I need a couple stacks of them. I should have more than enough chicken essence for 1 more stack. There we go. What we're going to do is we're going to tick accelerate this dude. Put the eggs in. Not those, these. And then it should just basically do them all instantly. And then I just have to catch a whole bunch of them. I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't really need most of the rest of this stuff. I'm going to keep some of those things on us. But then we go through this process again. Riveting gameplay right here. That's what this is. I am hoping that like the throughput monitor is like locked in by the end of this and we can actually see how many stars we're getting a second. That would be quite nice.
Plays says, bee catcher with range add-ons.
So I mean, yes, I could do that. The problem is as soon as I were to place it in the grass, like there, it would catch it, you know? And I don't necessarily want it to there. I need to give it a whole bunch of treats first. You know? Does that make any sense? I've thought about doing that. I guess I could export it.
I had 1 nickel every time KRYPTX world got filled with more than 2k mobs. I had 2 nickels. That's not a lot, but is odd that happened twice.
I love that. May be the first time that I'm not the one getting roasted by TTS in my stream. I don't know about y'all, but that's a big deal for me.
Sun says, you can use an incubator to apply the genes to the captured bees.
So that's, yeah, so I should export to that, right? And then go from there. How much quicker would it be? Because if that's the case, then I could probably automate this entire process, couldn't I? Because I could probably use like a clicker just to right click the bee spawn egg onto the ground. And then I could very easily create a crafting recipe for the bee spawn eggs that would automatically run every time there's 100%. That might be an interesting stream.
Remember the bee thing on the server, it'll work with that.
Yeah. That's a good point. I wonder if they're going to add modular bees into to the sky.
KRYPTX Plays says, what you are saying now, John, is what I said in the beginning of the stream, LMAO.
Yeah. Problem is, like, I've already made like hundreds of them without automating
HD
it.
Says, yes, do that. Save your sanity.
Save your sanity. I feel like out of anybody to say that, you would be like the one person that would be like knowing whether or not it was going to cost me my entire sanity. 4, 5, which I think is quite funny. All right, that one's full. I've got
Elder
that one.
Food says,
one.
SFM can automate this for you.
Yes, it can.
Sun says, sunk cost fallacy.
You get me with that every time. Also, what's up, Elder? How's it going? How are you? Sorry I jumped in the stream so late today. I had a ton of meetings at work. but I finally got free and I saw that you were live, so I jumped in. I was really excited, only to realize that you were ending stream. I was like, oh no. And then I felt bad because I felt like you stayed on longer to show me what you were up to. But the new base looks really nice. All right, we got all of those. I do want to see, I'm going to fill up the rest of the Omega upgrades on the highs that I can fill right now.
Nom says, if they add Modula Bees, they will add then Mega Nerf, so I'm not sure if worth.
That's true. That's a good point. This one's full. I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Now you will also want to fix that beehive setup to save you on blocks.
Yeah.
6,000 bees is a lot.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does this one have any in it? No, it does not. No, it does not. 3, 4, 5. So I just need 2 more Omega upgrades. Make 2 of those real quick. We'll throw them in there. And then I'm going to take the boots off. We're going to do a little bit of this real quick. We're going to see how many of these bee combs.
Says, how did you automate the singularities? Elder of Good says,
I'll show you in 2
you're
seconds.
All good. I never leave stream on time, haha.
That's funny. Oh my goodness. We talk about Starry Comb blocks for a second.
If I had $1 every time certain streamers from all the mods like John or KRYPTX ignore us, I will have already a new PC, a new house and a McLaren.
That's funny. GMS go. Let's go. I'll show you real quick. It's a pretty easy setup. But I would recommend doing what I did. I made one setup for each type of singularity. Effectively, you need your quantum compressor down here with an ultimate catalyst in it. You're going to want a pipe that's going to transfer everything in, and you want the fastest pipe upgrade because the only limiting factor here really is how fast you can get your items from pattern provider up here with the 25,000 that will instantly put all 25,000 into this chest into the quantum compressor. Then all you have to do is have this here. You don't even have to have an upgrade on it or any sort of filtering on it, and it'll pull it out and you put it right back in the pattern provider.
Mick Potter says, John changed the sense to 2x2 upgrades to get through them combs faster.
I should. I will do that. That's a really good idea. I will do that. But yeah, this right here, this is how I set it up. And so each one of these pattern providers has a different singularity in it. One of each of the 12, 25,000 items for each singularity. It puts it all in the chest, runs it into the compressor as fast as this thing can get it in there, and then pulls it all back into the pattern provider to complete it. And then there's just a wireless connector set to all, looks like 19 of them actually, for all of those. That's what I did. There are better ways to do it. I think Cryptex has a better way to do it in one of his videos that he recently released.
Says, if I had $1 for each time TDS made me laugh in this stream, I would buy a cup of coffee.
Same.
KRYPTX Plays says, John, you can do what I did. Transfer label from interface or pattern provider. It's instant or even faster than instant LOL.
Ooh, nice. Why not using a matter condenser? I don't know. All I know is I was struggling to get it set up automated, and I came up with this method of doing it, and it worked. And so I just copy pasted it 18 times. So to answer your question, why not I do it a different way? It's because this was the first way I found that worked, and so I just went with it. But also because pipes. I really like pipes.
Dragster King HD says, why not just output with a interface and pull out of every side?
I think because the interface I wouldn't be able to like regulate how many went in, right?
I will do something. Chat will suggest something better, but in the end advice ignored, and they will said, chat, you're right, I should have done that way. Who it is?
What's up, Miguel? Welcome in. Yeah, we're trying to do some crazy stuff and make a whole bunch of all the mod stars and all the mods 10 to the sky. We're still at exactly 6.67. I'm gonna grab another throughput monitor real quick. I want to make a pattern for it. I didn't expect me to be making several of these, but here we are. Throughput monitor, pattern, storage monitor, and then level emitter. Just throw all of these in here real quick. Whatever free spots I can find. And then Make a throughput monitor. We're going to toss it up here.
Lex Unam says,
and I
stop hitting the walls on the bees. Make Crystallix glass. Camo them BCS. I really hate when you hit the door of your bees.
Are you talking about this one? Trying to get in, and I get stuck on that. Your bottleneck now is probably the ultimate crafter. Is it? Let me see. So if I look for star, I want to see how fast star shards are coming in. That was kind of what I was looking for. I know they're going to be going out pretty fast too. I don't know if it'll account for that at all. Like account for them leaving for autocrafts, but hopefully it does. Getting about 672 shards a second. Well, except it does drop down because of the autocrafts, doesn't it? How many? No, we got 25,000 Patrick stars. So the autocrafting is going to mess with what's coming in. Let me turn off the autocraft for it real quick, because that'll catch up pretty fast. We'll turn that off. I try not to plug myself into streams, which is perfect based on what I said. No, I don't mind at all, dude. I do not mind at all. So this should now eventually give me a more accurate number, because did I turn that off or did I not? Yeah, it should be off. It should be off. So we shouldn't be pulling out any more star shards. It should just be what's coming in. 6-7. Why is it still going down? That doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. Or maybe it just already had gone down. And this is our steady state number. I mean, if you really want to give yourself a challenge, automate the 9x block the normal way without the beast. No, absolutely not. No, thank you. That sounds like no fun. That sounds like pain. That doesn't seem like as many as I thought it would be.
KRYPTX Plays says, you input might have a bottleneck it seems.
I mean, maybe. You might be right, but it should be putting into there. No, it's just not creating very many star shards. We're just not actually getting that many. Like, it's putting them all in here, and it is crafting them pretty quick. Let me grab some more Omega upgrades real quick for this. I think it should be like 40, because I just need one per.
HD says, sounds like a dragster challenge, lol.
That's fair. I'm gonna speed those up, get myself some more Patrick bees. We'll get this one going. I'm just trying to get some more Nautilus shells. I'm gonna try to move to 2x2 in the centrifuges. I think that would be probably a good idea. If I can make 20 of them, I can. It's how many you're getting a second. Each second you make a different amount based on what the bees make. Right, that makes sense. I just would have expected that number to generically be higher. I don't know why. I just did expect it to be higher, and then it wasn't. Like, I know if I get...
Lex Unam says,
that already
if
have
only
two?
there was
No,
a
it didn't.
super fast to do the bees that John is doing in the server, but he likes to make that mess of bees.
But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I expected it to be faster. I get that. I mean, 6 a second, it's not terrible. Or 20 a second or whatever it was. It's not bad. It's just not what I expected.
Torrid Sun says, scroll up on the speedier on your inventory and scroll down on the Omega to min-max lol.
Okay, I will. I just need 20 more anyways. Oh, I don't have enough. Honeycombs,
says,
honeycomb blocks, and Nautilus shells. I need both of those.
2 Omega 2 speedier or 1 Omega 3 speedier. Which one's faster?
That's a good point. I still need to watch the one on pipes today, because I saw the video. I just haven't had a chance to watch it yet. And I have been told for like my entire modded Minecraft experience that those netherite pipe upgrades are what cause a ton of lag on server. Or just in general on worlds. And I don't spoil it for me. I do need more vanilla bees, you're right. I think what I've just created
Nick
should
Potter
get me
says,
through this, though.
You need more vanilla bees.
Because I can just tick accelerate it and then boom, we're there. All right, we got these 20. That should be
Lex
here.
Unam says,
Yeah.
stop hitting the walls.
Whoa, why did it pull it back? That was interesting. So I can pull down on that, but if I pull up on this, it actually pulls the other one out. Which is interesting. I'm gonna put that there. It should make it a little bit quicker. Also, I do kind of hate that they are not consistently in the same places in here. But at the same time, I don't know if I care enough to go through and change them all. I do care enough to put them in and make sure that they're like all optimized like this. That way it does a stack at a time and pretty quickly. There we go. But I don't care about the rest really. So let's see what happens. I know I'm probably going to do another full set of bees. And probably I'll try to optimize it.
To store actual honeycomb, LOL.
To store actual honeycomb. What do you mean? So it does bring the honeycomb in, and it gets moved to the interface and sent back into my ME system. Honeycomb blocks. So I get these honeycomb blocks from that. So if I were to tick accelerate this one, I start getting a ton of these honeycomb blocks like pretty fast. Or should. I think we may have broken it though. Because that's not going up at all. There's a lot of honeycomb blocks coming in. Oh, that's why. It'd be because we're backed up. Whee! Tick accelerate everything. Tick accelerate that. Make sure it's not broken. It's not. What? Oh, zombie come. That's fine. I don't care. Whatever. It's just got to work through all the starry cone blocks first. I had that issue when I was sending in my centrifuge. Yeah, so we're just a little backed up here. It's fine. It's fine. And it does look like we got all, yeah, the honeycomb blocks to get moved over. Yep, there we go. All cleared out. We got the honeycomb blocks back again. We should be getting Nautilus shells back in. All that should be fine. So if I were to try to make 30, 40 of these, probably. Still need more Oh, draconic dust is becoming an issue now too. Oh, very interesting. Should no longer be an issue. I love the time wand in case you guys can't tell. Probably my favorite thing I own. All right, productive bees.
Plays says, I had this issue. I had to step up tick rate in my code to make the transfer to centrifuge, and from centrifuge instant minimal TPS drop.
So you're talking about using like the timer next to this, and then in here instead of saying every tick, it's every redstone pulse do. Is that what y'all are talking about? Some of your centrifuges were empty even when your chest has ton in there. Yeah, that's true. I think that's because
Lex
it was
Unam
literally
says,
just
John,
trying to get
I
everything everywhere.
I mean assistant in order to config fewer my centrifuges, BCS. Stop hitting the walls.
Invalid program.
Torrid Sun says, every time John hits the wall on the door I can see Lex's keyboard breaking more for some reason, LOL.
What do you want me to do with this door? You want me to change the door to Crystallix glass? Is that what we were saying? Because if you really want me to, I will.
Says, you can do that or do every 20 ticks do, every 20 plus 5 ticks do, every 20 plus 10 ticks do.
Okay. Glass plus camo. Okay. All right. We're gonna break the door, and that way it stays closed. Crystallix glass. I'm gonna grab this guy, and grab some of this. And you guys said just camo, and that should camo this stuff, right? So I do that, and then I do that. So it allows me to go through, and then camo this stuff. I'm gonna have to walk me through how it works, but craft together with another block. So then I'm going to need 2 sets, 3 sets of it actually. Because I think I need my 9 blocks of it total. All right, there we go. Combine it with the stuff you want. That's actually really easy. So green concrete. That's what we used. 9 of it. You're saying just what? What? Oh. Okay. Yellow key. I actually really like that. I hate that the corner here is messed up, but whatever. I like it. I like it. Thank you. Good suggestion. We could do. I think I'm gonna get stuck on it if I do this. Maybe. Let me just grab some dirt real quick. I'm still trying to make it look halfway decent from like the inside. Hey, okay, that's not as bad. I can live with that. I can live with it. Lex, does that make you happy? Is this better? Yep, I agree. Okay.
KRYPTX Plays says, just get step height LOL. Lex Unam says, yes.
Annie, I'm doing really good. How are you? All right. All of that's coming in pretty quick. I could do... Actually, what were we saying I needed for more Omega upgrade? Nautilus shells. So Prismarine. We should need to tick accelerate the Prismarine bees. These guys. I might need to set up a whole second setup for them, honestly. We did need Draconic Dust too. That one was one of the few that were behind. And then while I was doing that, I did want to check on the Patrick bees as well to see if we had any more of those that we could put places. We'll need that one in a second. I think we said we had 2 Patrick bee full in here. Patrick, that was at 97 though. I might just wait for it to, yeah, 100%. So 3 of those. 3 of those. Got myself some honey treats. Three high productivity, 3 Patrick B. We are out of eggs. I just had them on me before I put them in here. Throw those in there. 3, the cages. 1, 2, 3. I think this fills up that next beehive too.
Torrid Sun says,
stream's going really well.
Chemical tank of antimatter and use it to make Nautilus.
Oh, what? That's not a bad idea at all. I forgot that I have access to all the creative stuff now too. Pull the little dragster there. Okay. All 3 of these should be full and like actually going now. I shouldn't ever be short on Patrick stars. But I also should be getting more Patrick B spawn whatever genes in quicker. Yeah, no, we got 34k of those. A lot of the ATM star shards too. So if I've got that many in, I used to just have like 3k. This thing should have calibrated. Okay, so I'm getting about 9 shards a second. 9 to 18, somewhere in that range. That's not bad. Whoa. Little artifacting on that door. I can put the spawn egg back through the incubator with the treat to give it the gene. And then just spawn it in the world to catch it.
Mick Potter says,
that's what they've been telling
me.
me.
Back through the incubator with the treat to give it the gene and just spawn it to the world and catch UT.
So we had one. I don't know where it went. I'm going to make another. This is not going to be fully automated yet, but should be closer to being automated. So I need range upgrades for those, right? Range. Wow, I didn't even get close to spelling that correct. 4 range upgrades. Toss all those in there. Give me a full stack cages. And then theoretically speaking, if I were to, how many can this hold? Not a lot. Gonna make somebody happy. I'm using a barrel. Put a barrel there. Grab one of those and this. Put that there. That there. That there. Okay. Theoretically, that all should work, right? Does everybody see what I'm trying to do there? Does that make any sense at all to anybody?
KRYPTX Plays says, sent you my step up code on Discord just in case you want to check it out.
What a dude.
Mick Potter says,
what a
make
dude.
a bee spawn egg using the chicken egg. Once made out it back through without spawning it with the gene to make it high.
Right. Okay, so I need eggs. Make a bunch of them. We're gonna tick excel this. Eggs are in there. Sorry, bees. All the eggs through. But then you're saying I can put this here and these here. I think I have to actually spawn them in, like put them in through in the cages, right? Make a bee spawn egg using the chicken egg. Once make it out back through without spawning it with the gene. So the bee has to be in a cage for that to work, right? So theoretically, now what I do is I do this, and that should catch it. No? And then put it in there. It's got range upgrades like crazy, so surely... Actually, what I should be doing... What am I doing here?
Lex Unam says, Tick X Elite the Catcher.
Yes, that, but also this. Hey, here we go. You. And then if I stand here, it should be better.
KRYPTX Plays says, John is learning. See what happens when you follow chat grinning squinting face LOL.
Grinning squinting face. Yeah, okay, all right. I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna admit that was actually really good.
16 cages in the catcher.
Well, that's all the bees I had left. I had the exact number of cages for each bee. Like I intentionally put a stack of cages in there and made a stack of bees. And so you're saying now I take all these bees out of here and we run them through there with those treats in there, right? This one's already got productivity really high. But then all I have to do, just grab an inventory full of these and remember which one I put in there. Tick excel that real quick. That was the wrong thing. That's fine.
Lex Unam says, now someone call 911 BCS, someone got burned.
I hate that each one of these is individual and none of them are stacking at all.
Mick Potter says, yup.
Yeah, no, this is about as easy as it gets.
This is what I was say you should automate in the beginning of stream LOL.
Well, all right, you guys got to remember that I'm dumb. Like that has to stay at the forefront of our minds whenever we're streaming here. Because that's probably the most important piece of information that you're going to get, all right? Get a separate incubator and use pipes to automate it. Yeah, we're going to do that for the next set for sure. For this set, we just went ahead and made them. Also, I don't even have the Omega upgrades for this yet. Hope and pray we can make them. Omega. You can make like 30? Okay, how about 50? All right. I will settle for 48. Nope. How about 45? That'll work. Why is it struggling to make honey bottles? That should be super quick. Honey bottles. All right, fine. I'll take a 0 off.
Mick Potter says, pipe from barrel to incubator, pipe to barrel.
Yeah, substitution should be on. Here's what we're going to do, though. I know I can make 45. I'm just going to cancel that and cancel this. And then I have more than enough in here now. We'll just make 45. So close and yet so far. 45. And then we'll just start that up, and that should be basically instant. Perfect. Okay, so we'll take that. And then I should just be able to go through.
Mick Potter says, from catcher to incubator, pipe from incubator to barrel, sorry.
No, you're good, you're good. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just going to continue to fill these out real quick. And then once I have them filled-ish, make another 20. No, I can't. I am out of stuff. But it should be pretty easy to start getting those bees going now. So you guys are saying that this is going to catch it into the barrel. From the barrel, pipe into an incubator. This guy that I apparently still need to make one of these for. Move all of that. Incubator. This guy needs power though, right? It does need power, and then I can put speedier upgrades in there too. And then a little flux point right there. Put that on. That guy there. Come up to the network. Full. And then this guy's just going to need to stay full of high productivity treats, right? Or very high productivity honey treats. Honey treats. Make some more of those real quick. Yeah, our SFM is simple code. T from catcher, incubator, pipe from incubator to barrel. Got it. Oh, you're right. I don't need a barrel in the middle there.
KRYPTX
Why am I putting the barrel in the barrel?
Gotta up your game, John. LOL.
That's funny. Oh, that's actually got a lot of stuff in it. You know what? Let's just set it up like this for now. Just to get it all done. And then hopefully I remember to change it. Speedier upgrades. We're going to throw those in there. That's a starry bee, so I need
KRYPTX plays says
these,
Jor,
these.
Geor.
Geor.
Mick Potter says barrel needs to be after incubator.
Yeah, it does. I know. This is going to make one, and it's going to pull another in, and it's not going to be able to do anything. But for now, it's not going to hurt to have a middleman. I just want another barrel. The heck? Barrel. Barrel. You can spell. There we go. Pull it from there. Like that. And then all I have to do is add speed upgrades, and all of this will go super quickly. And actually, this is now just going to be like very high productivity. So these are the ones I just put in. It's so easy. So then I just need to make them. So let me grab 2 more sets of treats real quick. Honey treat. That one and this one. And then I'm going to come over here. Grab both sets of gene samples. With that and that. And then grab a ton of eggs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Make sure this thing is empty. Oh, hey, we got more honey treats. Look at us go. Eggs go in there. Pick excel it.
Go
a whole bunch of starry bees.
I think it's a streamer thing. When we stream, we lose how to spell or say words. LOL. I struggled on trying to say exclamation point.
It is just part of it. But it's also different because, like, I'm pretty good in, like, actual, like, in-person human conversation at talking. But you get me on stream and words just aren't good or normal or easy. Oh, I don't have any cages in there, do I? That's gonna be an issue. Here, have a cage. Where'd that bee go? Did we get him? Did he fly off? Fly off. Did he fly out? Is he on the map? Don't see him?
Mick Potter says,
Did we get
cages.
him? Yes, cages. I don't know if we got him or not. We did because that was full. Okay, perfect. I can live with that. And then more cages. I forgot I've got that macro for the use key. That went pretty quick. That's incredibly fast. I'm pretty impressed with that, especially once tick excelled. I think if I were to tick excel this, and maybe that, and this, and then just make sure to keep that full, we're gonna have a barrel of bees. I don't remember who it was, but somebody put in chat a breakdown on how to say exclamation. That's hilarious. Oh no. That's hilarious.
Potato King says, quick Q, where did you build your base?
So this is just in the sky. So like my starting island was actually over here. And then I basically built this guy first and then tore down my entire island and then moved over here to this one. So I basically started at my starting island, which was like the very basic beginner one with like a tree and nothing else. And then just built up everything else. Okay. We've gone through all of those, so now our only holdup is going to be Omega upgrades. Can we make 20 more? No, we cannot. All those are maxed. All those are maxed. That's maxed. That's maxed. Kind of curious what that does to... Like we were talking about earlier, the storage system. Oh, it doesn't really do anything. It looks like it's able to process through all of that stuff. Yeah, because it's doing a full stack at a time. Jeez. Yeah, those are kamikaze bees. Those are our starry bees.
Add very high genes to your draconic bees.
Pretty sure I already did. Almost. I may not have, but I'm pretty sure I did. This one I did not. I didn't that one. I didn't on that one. Well, I'm just a big fat liar. I really thought I had. I have not. At all. But I know a really easy way to do it. Grab all of these out real quick. They should all just be in this chest right here. And all I should have to do is put them in this chest right here. And then they should get very high applied to them. Correct? We agree? And then they all should be put in that last one. And bro wonders why he's not got much draconic dust. Okay, all right. Here's the thing. I thought I had. I seriously thought, because I went and caught 3 more bee cages full, or beehives full of them. I really thought I had put max like stats on all of those. But clearly I misremembered that. Okay, where does starry bees stop? Right there. I'm gonna put a stack of bee cages in there real quick. We're gonna put all these draconic bees back. Perfect. Now we should get draconic dust like crazy. Right? Right? I don't know, it's just doing starry cone blocks. We are getting draconic dust though. Some. Yeah, we're getting lots of it. Lots of it. We're doing great. Cryptex, please give them context as it could be seen as I'm... Oh, goodness. Okay, I still get poked by Meg regarding size. Yikes. Yikes. That's funny. Okay. Should have plenty of Draconic. Let's grab... honey... No, we don't need honey treats. Omega upgrades. That's what we need. Omega upgrades. 20 of those, easy. Light work, another 20 of those. Need a lot more Nautilus shells for. But we can take these and we can go put some more bees in for now. Hopefully that's plenty. We'll see. It's nice to just have the bees to take over instead of having to spawn them all in the world, though. So thank you guys very much for helping me with that. 1, 2. Oh, I already put some in here. Oh. Look at me go. Go grab some more bees. Oh, would you look at that? Loads of Draconic dust. Wonder where that came from. All right, Mr. Sassy Pants. All right.
Torrid Sun says, not sure, but I think you can also make Hearts of the Sea with antimatter.
Really? That'd be wild. Okay, 1, 2. I don't know how far I went with these. Not past there. Right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're gonna come back down here. That one's full. Just 4. That one's got upgrades there. There. And 1 more. So I need 3. So 16 plus 3, 19. I need 19 more. And then I finished up that whole row. That's pretty good progress if you ask me. What do I need to get 19 more of these? 71 Nautilus shells. And I have 5. That is the only thing we're short on. Should we set up another Prismarine beehive? Or should we just start doing it with antimatter? I was saying 45, 41, it was 27. So I don't know how big my setup was to prove it. I grabbed a tape measure, point A to point B, and I was off by like half of what I thought it was. So that's funny. Get a drowned spawner with looting for Nautilus shells. That's a really good idea too.
KRYPTX Plays says, get a drowned spawner with looting for not shells.
I will probably end up doing that. Need 17 more. I'll tick accelerate one more time. Because then we basically finished up these 2 rows, which would be like a really good progress point, you know? As well as just like a proof of concept, like, hey, this does work. Perfect. Check the other uses for antimatter. There might be some good recipes in there. I don't know. Okay, I definitely will. So that fills up all the rest of the hives with those. I'm gonna, that's already full. Toss all of that back in there real quick. Because I don't need it. And then grab all of these. Yeah, for anybody curious how long it's taken me to get the bees to this point, I haven't really used time in a bottle at all. So it's been about 41 hours worth of like me tick accelerating these beehives to get to the point where I have all of those 100%. Which some of that was like I did AFK over one night. But the vast majority of it was me tick accelerating with a time wand. 5. 3, 4, 5. So all of these have the upgrades. Need 1. 6 more bees. Let me double check and make sure I don't have any partials. Nope, there's a whole hive missing them there and a partial there. Okay, so 7 plus 12 more bees is what I need to finish everything off. If you want to see a world killer, check the image I sent. 1 second, I have to see what this is. What are you talking about, world killer? Oh my goodness. Is that a full Big Jim Geoor farm of every Geoor? Is that what that is? I'm gonna be 2 bees short, and that's gonna be the most frustrating thing ever. That's actually crazy. That's sick though, but it's almost like a little bit psychotic. Like, that is gonna destroy your TPS. I only have like 5 of them running, and it's still like pretty rough sometimes. Had to turn off particles. I had 20 Geoors and it was already destroying my FPS. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. This one over here, my FPS drops from like 80 down to like 27-ish when I'm like looking at it and the particles are falling. Pretty rough. Hey, that's too many starry bees, I think. You think so? It might be. It might be. But they make me happy, and so I'm gonna keep doing it for at least a little bit longer. Why don't these actually like combine? Okay, these are all very highs, which I don't really need more very highs. I've kind of got as many of those as I'm gonna need. I think I really just need, yeah, because we got a whole extra stack here. I just need more honey treats. So that way I can combine these and then get some eggs. Throw the eggs in there, throw those in there, speed that up a little bit. And 4 more eggs. 22 of those. Double check we're full, and we're full. Pick Excel, starry bee eggs. Whee! Starry bees all into there. Into there, into here, and more into there. Sweet! I only need stuff. I only run it when I need stuff, but I don't have millions of items. Yeah, exactly. I did the same thing, so you can tell exactly which items I have Big Jim farms for, because like I've got like 30, like 20, 21 million and up of all of those items, which is kind of just absurd. Okay, this should finish off those 2 rows there though. And then we're going to do the crazy thing and fully tick excel all of these beehives simultaneously and see what happens. So let's double check real quick with all of those in there. I'm assuming we're going to check the chest real quick, but I'm assuming you can keep up with all of that with the centrifuges we have. Right? Yeah, we're not having any backlog. There's no backup in here at all. Could just run them at this point. It's just a lag machine. Yeah. Big Jim definitely made a game changer with that. It's a really good setup. Such a great idea. So we're getting about 17 to 26 for the 2 numbers I've seen so far for star shards, which is pretty good. That's not bad. Lobster John should remove the percentage for B since he blocked the old egg trick. It's not 100%, it fails. So there's no such thing as a percent. I agree. I think it's kind of dumb. I kind of wish he wouldn't have removed the percentage thing. I liked the way it worked before. Especially since I put it in several videos. And now all of those videos are just factually incorrect. So now we're going to do that psychotic thing we were talking about, where we're just going to max out the production of them using the time wand. So we should have started in the middle instead of on one end. Because I got to crouch, it's going to go way slower. He saw a video and said, "Oh, watch this, guys." Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Yeah. I have to remake my entire modular bees video now because everything in it's incorrect. Dude, that's so many. That's so many starry comb blocks. That's wild. 10% should be a 10% chance. If you run 10% now, it fails. Yeah, there's no gamble. Exactly. It's not even an actual percentage chance. I agree.
Are you going to change the config to allow the time wand to be used automatically?
I've thought about it, okay?
PTX Plays says, do my tick up, John, LOL.
I really do need to. I have thought about it. The problem with doing that is that I so far have played this entire thing legit, and I kind of like that I'm doing that. Like, I've not changed a single config at all or spawned anything in. Like, this whole playthrough and world is just like straight up as is intended. So I don't want to unless I have to, right? Your centrifuges are definitely not keeping up. No, I just take accelerate them though. I mean, it's gonna process through 500,000 cone blocks in about 30 seconds, 45 seconds. Not even 30 seconds. Yeah, and then it's just all cleaned up. So, star shards now. That's a lot better. We're going to go ahead and kick this back off because I wanted to start making the stars again. You guys want to see a real world lagger? We accelerate all of these guys. Or at least it did before. My entire world basically started lagging, but it doesn't actually seem to have that much enough. Maybe they fixed it. Because this does seem to be running considerably better. And uh-oh. It keeps like full catching the oh yeah. I don't know if it's any better. No, it's like full stuttering. Yeah. The stutters aren't that right. The TPS FPS isn't that bad.
John's edit again breaking things.
It's the full like stop for 2 seconds and then start moving again. That's what was doing it for me. Like that was a little scary. Let's see. 103,215 of those 16 million nether stars. What I mean, that's nuts. ATM stars are going back up though. We are getting more of them. I think that's just as fast as these things craft. So I think next step, we are going to need to finish filling out all of those with starry bees. Like all of these do need to be filled up, but we also probably really need like 15 copies of this exact setup here in order to make starry bees in any, or stars in any sort of like speedy fashion whatsoever, you know? They aren't even running. John, you turned the requester off? No. I turned the requester back on. They are running. But yeah, if I speed that up a lot, it does work through them a lot faster, but it also does like cause weird issues. Yeah, no, they're going back up for sure. But just a little bit at a time. If I were to change it to like a lot more, it would, I know, because they all should craft at the same speed.
KRYPTX
So when they all finish, it should
says,
fill them all back up.
Did you calculate how much you need to make the 9-time star?
No, not yet. So, hold up. 9-time star block. So it's that number times 9, right? Because 9 stars would make 1 star block, right? So 387, 424, 89 times 9. 3.4 billion? Yeah, it's about 3.486784401. That's our number right there. That's what we need to make. That's how many stars in order to make the 9x block. Which, to be fair, is a lot, especially when I'm relying on these guys to craft them. It almost... No, I'm making the 9x star block, but in order to make a star block, you have to have 9 stars. Right? Tell me I'm not crazy there, because I don't think I'm crazy. Does that make sense mathematically at all? I feel like it does, but you guys are making me question my math. It was never my strongest subject. Blocks make the 90. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So in order to make the 380, I need that times 9 stars. So I do need about 3.4 billion all the mods blocks, or all the mod stars. Which is gonna be quite a few. That's gonna be, yeah, that's gonna be a lot. But I think if I do this times 150, it should. The problem is gonna be getting these guys with these crafting recipes selected. Because I can make however many of those as I need to make, right? The problem is going to be I have to go through and manually config every single one of those, which is probably going to be a pain in the butt. I don't think it's 300K. No, this is, in order to make one of these, it says it's 387 million all the mod star blocks. I don't know if that's math correct, but that's what it says in here. So like theoretically, if I took what I have now, I could probably make patterns for this now that I'm thinking about it. A 1x star block pattern, and then one of these patterns, and then we go set this up on our actually I think it's in here, our quantum crafters, and just have it start crafting these. Honestly, it takes 3 or 4 seconds each craft, ignoring the shards. That would be, oh my goodness, that's actually a really good point.
KRYPTX Plays says, John, bulk storage cell with compression.
Yeah, I could do that too. That's a good point. That's probably the better way to do it. I do kind of like this way because then I don't know, I get to watch it craft all the way up. Switch to pattern encoding. The 2x from the 1x's. We will throw that in there. Turn it on. There's 144 of those. 3x from that. I didn't really want to make the 3x's. I wanted to make the pattern for it. Pattern. 3x. And then 4x, but I need more patterns.
CB says, compression module and decompression module combo.
There's that. Does it have any slots left? It has 1. We'll throw all those in there, so it should automatically just craft up my star blocks to whatever the highest it can get is. That's only 3x. Why didn't it do the 4x? Did I make 2 of the same patterns? I sure did. Look at me go. So that actually needs to be the 4x block from the 3x's, and then this can just get erased because I don't need it. Then that there. Turn it on. Cool. So we have 1 4x star block. A bit of AFK, you'll be done in no time. A bit of AFK. It's like set this up on a server and then increase the tick speed. That's about all that's going to get this there. It took Dragster King. That's true. It did take Dragster months. That's a very good point. I think if I, especially, hear me out. If I did like I don't really want to do that on the 24-hour stream though. I don't know. I also really don't want to try to figure out Greg Tech on a 24-hour stream when I'm tired and frustrated. That's probably not going to be it. But I do think I'm probably going to start a new All the Mods 10 world where I don't necessarily try to speed run it, but I try to do it as fast as I can. Little sarcasm there. At this point, I just duped the star blocks. I mean, that's fair. That's a very fair point. I don't know. We might end up doing that.
KRYPTX Plays says, just change config to allow Paradox Machine to work again.
Yeah, I could probably do that too. What am I missing?
Dragsterking HD says, it took me months, but I also had interruptions with work and everything.
Right. That's fair. Okay. Do a different pack, John. See how far you get in like Cisco or something in 24 hours. That's actually not a bad idea either. Just like start a pack and see how far we go in 24 hours. Yeah, there's actually several incredibly easy dupes that work on all versions. That you can do pretty. In fact, we were in Discord the other day talking with Drexter, and I was like, dude, why didn't you? And he's like, I know like 4 of them. I just wanted to do it legit. Which, you know, there's something to be said for that. But yeah, if I'm gonna do this, we are going to have to dramatically scale up our star crafting. Because, I mean, we still have 100,000 ATM star shards that aren't even being touched right now. It's a badge of honor to do it legit, exactly.
KRYPTX Plays says, it's a badge of honor to do it legit.
So I think, yes, we do need to make sure we have enough production, but with a time wand, you can increase production to basically whatever you want.
Dragsterking HD says,
I think
there's
the problem...
definitely times I was tempted.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Especially when everything went wrong.
Yeah. I think I just need to copy this setup like 15 times. What do y'all think? Is that the plan? Make a whole bunch of copies of this? Because I think that would get me pretty close. If not all the way there. And I think if I do make copies of this, I'm probably moving it somewhere else. And then probably going to optimize it too. Where instead of using 25 out of 32, I'm actually using all 32. And then the only annoying part is going to be setting this
John,
right here.
Ben's new pack contained looks fun. Should check it out.
Ben's new pack contained looks fun. Okay. All right. To a 9x block, you need thousands of crafters. That's true. That's true. That's a really good point. Like, I mean, realistically, I think you're right. I think I'd need somewhere in like the 10 to 15,000 range in order to even consider getting close. And then I have to have the Starry Shard production to meet that. I don't know. That's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot. And I think I'm just now realizing how much it's going to be. Oh. Okay. I think we're probably going to call it there. And, oh, there it's back. And then, why is it not? The whole screen on there just froze and I don't know why. That's interesting. But yeah, we're going to call it there. I'm going to maybe look into doing some more of this. And if I do, it's just going to be a whole lot of copy paste. So there's a decent shot I don't do that on stream. Like I said, this weekend, we're probably looking into doing some of the more fun stuff. So we'll see about that.
Dragsterking
and
HD
then,
says, I hate to say it, John, but even thinking now you understand the work, there will be more.
I know. There's going to be a lot more, but we'll see. Crafters wouldn't be the issue. The shards, that's the issue. I think I can get the shards really easily. I do. I think if I could have the crafters to keep up with the shards, I think we'd be fine. I think the shards might just be me walking up and down the aisles with the time wand, speeding them up. Because I mean, I could get millions in just a couple minutes if I wanted to. But I can't do anything with them once I have them. But again, that's an issue for another day. Anywho, I will be back streaming tomorrow. I'm not sure I'm going to stream Minecraft. There's a decent shot I stream Battlefield. If I do that, I will probably just be live on Kick and Twitch. But I'll let y'all know that in the Discord if I do. But thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of y'all. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Y'all have a good night. Bye.